Hello, Wolfies! So I tried Refraction Railway for the first time, and here is my experience with it. This is footage from my first Refraction Railway run ever, and oof, it was really close. I feel like part of the blame lies with me though, because I didn't read that super long and confusing tutorial right when you get in there. I'm kind of a let's just hop in there kind of guy. So to save you guys the trouble though, for people who are like me but also enjoy watching Limbus Company content, here are some things I wish I knew before starting the Refraction Railway run. I'm explaining it in video format so you don't have to read all that. The biggest thing I feel that needs to explain is that this railway takes place in 3 parts. You deploy 12 identities for each part. However, the parts that you use for part 1 can't be used for part 2. Part 3 can use anything. In simpler terms, if you're using N-Corp Faust, for example, on Railway 1, you can still use Faust in part 2, but you must use another ID, like Ardor Blossom Faust. This means that if you don't have multiple IDs at max level in Uptie, it can be a little bit difficult to progress. As you can see here, I for whatever reason don't have a max level ID for Honglu and Mersault, but I do have max level IDs for Faust, Donkey, Ishmael, Yiseng, and Rodian. Although I only have one max level ID for multiple Sinners, such as Heathcliff and Otis, it's okay, because I can just stack the non-max level IDs with the main team as throwaway characters so that I don't waste my max level IDs on teams that I need them on. Even though you have to deploy all 12 identities, focus on having 2 good teams of 6, and then for 3 you can just use team 1 again. Okay, on to tip number 2. Status effects positive or negative carry over within the section. If you're running with Wild Hunt Heathcliff, your coffin stacks will stay with you from one section to the next. Likewise, this also occurs with Bloodfiend stacks. And the rest of the Refraction Railway functions similarly to Mirror Dungeons, where the Eagle resource carry over from one section to the next. So if you're running a team like Bloodfiends that can snowball over the course of a longer fight, this can be especially strong since they can just start out the fight with full stacks and then just hammer away at bosses with extra clash power. And number 3, my biggest tip is probably about selecting the powers. Kind of like how you can get egos during a mirror dungeon, you also get these small buffs that are global for your team that you get to pick at the end of every section. I'll show which buffs that I took so that in case you guys want to take something similar to me, or if you have a team that's similar to mine, it might help you out a little bit easier, just in case. Avoid giving the enemy clash power at all costs. This is kind of something that I also picked up on Mirror Dungeons. And this is more of a private preference thing, unless you have like we lose clashes kind of team comp, which is more rare than not, I think. As long as you constantly win your clashes and you do enough damage, I guess, most bosses will just fall over eventually as long as you do the mechanics correctly. And there's not really a turn limit unless you count the 100 turn limit one. But honestly, 100 turns is a lot and you should be able to clear it before then. This is mostly a tips and tricks video for newer managers that are kind of like into the late game, but not exactly super far in. This video won't be for people who have max level IDs, max level characters, and max level upties on every single ID. I know some people who are like that, and oof, I wish I could be like them. This is more for newer people who just got into Limbus Company maybe like half a year ago, and maybe have like one full team of characters to work around. And so the Refraction Railway will be plenty challenging for them still. And yeah, that's it. And if you got any extra tips, you can drop them in the comment section below because they are a huge help. If you like this video, feel free to subscribe, and thank you everyone.